Well, JJ, you drank breast milk for a long time, like for some years until your supply dried up. What happened?
You know, it was a sad day. So me and my mother of my kids, we split up, we separated, and a friend of mine just had a kid, and she mentioned that she wasn't gonna breastfeed, she was just gonna pump and kind of dump it out, and I was like, oh, people buy that. If I had a source, I would probably buy some. So I open up my messages and I get a text from the mom, and it was like, hey, do you want to buy some? And I was like, yeah, sure. I threw a price out, felt like it could be fair. I had no idea that I was actually getting a steal compared to what other people were paying.
JJ, it's not every day that you see a grown man drinking breast milk. What did your friends, family, and coworkers think about what you were doing? Was everybody on board?
Well, my family, my kids, everybody, they were fine with it. People don't know this, but my kids actually tried it. They see daddy drinking his shakes, his booby milk, and they would want to sip. So, I gave them a little sip. But my friends, some of them, they were kind of like 50-50 on the fence. Work was definitely like, unless Tom Brady's doing it, it ain't coming in here. I couldn't even if I put my drinks in the refrigerator that I paid for at work, they were like, nah, ain't happening. We don't know what's in that cup. Get it out. Just making jokes. Couple friends were super concerned and kind of like did a lot more research in terms of the safety and kind of like diseases that could be, possibly contaminate the milk than I ever did. So I'm kind of grateful that he did that and kind of.
Those are some good friends.
Yeah.
That is an important question. So just how safe is breast milk bought online? So I want to bring on an expert in the know who works closely with the nonprofit Milk Bank, supplying donated breast milk to NICUs all around the country. So please welcome RN, PHN, and public health policy expert with Mother's Milk Bank, Pauline Sakamoto. Pauline, welcome.
Thank you so much.
How potentially dangerous is buying breast milk online?
Well, first of all, there are no standards. There's no regulation, right? There's nobody who's watching the quality of that milk that anybody is buying anywhere. There's just nothing out there in the United States. So you're really buyer beware, right? And there are studies in 2013 by Dr. Susan Keim that she bought like 102 samples of women's milk online, and 3/4 of it had so much pathologic bacteria, pathogenics, and contamination. I mean, she found milk with cow's milk. You don't think that people would do that, right? The shipping alone causes potential contamination of that milk. And indeed, Dr. Keim found milk just dripping out of the containers and the storage bags with holes in it that nobody can use. So it is problematic in that way.